Here at the museum, and I want to make sure to welcome you all here. The order of presentations today will be Korean tea first, then Japanese, and then Chinese. You have to imagine away all the electric cords, pretend like it's all charcoal, and we'll have a really lovely presentation. So Min Sun Lee will introduce the first presenter, and we'll go from there.
Hello, my name is Min Sun Lee, and I would like to introduce my presenter for today. Her name is Dr. Youngmi Ha, and she is from Donghua Cultural Foundation from New Jersey. So she flew in from New Jersey to come here and give us this presentation. So I hope you enjoy it. Thank you.
Thank you very much for coming today. I'd like to just do the demonstration first without talking, and then I'll get a full description about what was it and what procedure that you need to follow afterwards. So I want you to have just a curiosity thought on what I'm doing here. But I need to have two volunteers who want to sit with me to be my guests. And you can tolerate sitting on the floor, just mind you. If you have any problems, you can't really sit. Take these two ladies. Yes. So I'm pretending that we're sitting in the indoors. Usually, Korean traditional way, you don't bring your shoes inside of this house. So you take your shoes off a minute that you get in. touch it.
I'm well as well.
So you need to carry the pleasant conversation because we need to wait until the tea gets really stiff. So it takes really time. Usually the first about a minute or so you have to wait. So I'm using the green tea. So today I brought the two types of the green tea. One is from the second bud, which is about the end of the April, and then this one is the beginning of the May, the third one. So these two ladies are going to try the second grade, the green tea. So I think the one that I brought for the second grade is from one of the famous Korean tea plantation in Korea. It's nearby the Jiri mountain. That's the southern part of the mountain in Korea. So particularly that mountain carries a lot of wild trees compared to the factory manufactured a lot of just the tea plantation. These days, a lot of places they have hugely industrialized a lot, but still in some places in Korea they do have a wild tree. So this is from the wild tree tea. So it tastes a little bit different. Yeah, they go through the handmaking. Everything is painstakingly. You have the hand pick and hand dry, hand roast, everything. I think ladies and gentlemen, in the morning session you all learn about the green tea. It comes from the one tree. Whether you drink the black tea, green tea, red tea, white tea, everything is from the evergreen one tree. It's just different processing method, whether it gets roasted or it gets fermented. Those are the different ways that you distinguish. So this is an unfermented green tea. Because of the toil and the sunshine that we get in Korea, it's quite different than the China and Japan, so you'll have a definitely different flavor and taste to it. So the way that you go is you start from the first one closer to you and goes further, and then you stop there and then coming back from that point on. Sorry, I think I should have been more careful about the videotaping. So you go from the closer to and further go, and then you stop there and stay there, and then coming back from that point on, so that you have the mild and the intensity of the tea equally balancing out. If you skip and coming back, the first one will be really strong. So you need to go back and stay there and coming backwards to the very last one. And also in Korean tradition, you don't fill up the cup, you leave the 1/3. So you have a 1/3 starting, going one, and then for the second one, you add another 1/3, 1/3, 1/3. So in the cup, it has only 2/3 of it. So what we are saying is that the rest of 1/3, you put your heart and respect for the people who you are serving for. So you leave 1/3 out. So it looks like it's ready. I did really rush it. Hope this is a good taste. So this is just a modern setting. I'm not really following the strict tea ceremony which we usually have it in temple. Okay.
Thank you.
And then I'll have one for myself. So please enjoy your tea.
Thank you.
Okay, go ahead. Let me know. Was it different than the first one, the one that we had?
More buds, but it seems more floral.
Yeah, this is a better one than the first one.
Very good.
So the best tea, that it means that it pleases all your 5 senses. So you need to smell, you need to look at the colors, and you have to inhale the aroma of it, and also it goes through your throat, and then finally you can taste it. And then eventually your soul will be cleansed as well as your body. As you can see, this is a typical set of a tea set. Usually it comes smallest the set, which comes for the 3 people,
or as small as you can go for the one portable one for the one person. But usually when you're buying the tea set, it comes for the 3 people, and the next level is for the 5 people. In Asian culture, particularly in Korea, we don't go with the even numbers. We go with the odd numbers because we feel like if you have it even up, it's already completed. We don't want to complete. So we want to look for another chance. So everything goes with the odd numbers. So as you can see there, these are the 5 cups. So in these days, I think traditionally when you have your guest coming home in your home, you might want to set it up with 6 people, so they sell the extra cups. But this traditional way that you will see the 3 cups, so that means you need to get another set of it. But regardless of the number of the cups that you're getting for each set, the cup size stays the same, but the pitcher size will be obviously different to hold more water to it. And then this is for the bowl that you need to keep your water cooled down. Because I boiled it all the way up to the 100 degree, but you boil it on here and then you wait until the 70 Celsius degree to cool it down. The most important factor for the Korean tea is that you should not put the directly boiling water onto your pitcher right above your tea. You're gonna ruin all your tea because of the tart that is in the tea that will be bringing out a lot as soon as it touches really hot water. So you need to make sure that pour out your tea, the hot water in the tea bowl or any type of the bowl should be fine if you don't have this bowl. So put it in and just wait for maybe about 1.5 minutes. So you need to touch your hands to fill because this is very different from Western type of the tea set. They have a handle so you don't need to touch it, but because we touch to measure the temperature, so you need to use your hand. That means that it shouldn't be the boiling point. So you need to cool it down, put it in the winter, you put the tea first and then pour the water on top of it. But in the summer, you can do it the other way around. Okay, so thank you very much, ladies. So I've got a podium to continue to talk more about the Korean tea. Okay, so I think I'm going to skip a lot of them because you had a morning class that learned about the tea. Oh, sorry. This is a wild tea tree from Korea. The ones that we tasted from Cherry Mountain, that's the tea tree from Cherry Mountain. And also these are the flower, has a white flower, and some of them has a little bit pinkish, but most of them are white flowers that you can make a tea out of it, but taste is not as good as what you can make from the tea leaves. And then another popular format of making tea is between the wild bamboo trees. So we have a different names of each tea, whether it was just wild tree, or just wild bamboo tree. So different companies, they name after the different, either bamboo tree or the wild tree. And this is one of the most popular big tea plantation in Korea. If you ever have a chance to visit Korea, this is a place that you might want to stop by. It's called Ingosan, but there's southern part of the Korea. And tea tree and fruits. And Dr. Lu was talking about Kuisandung. So we do harvest a lot of flowers. Compared to chamomile in the Western countries, it has a little bit more strong scent. So in Korea, typically drink the monk tea as well, but also after you have like a 3 or 5 times of having green tea, it gets so mild that you don't have much of the green tea taste. So in that time, you can add your flower tea to your green tea. So that's a teapot. And another the flower that uses a lotus. So usually we use the white lotus, the ones that use. Because a lot these days they're even farming the lotus too. So this is what we made a white lotus tea. In the middle one, that's the lotus flower, but the water is a green tea. So out of you make your green tea. So I'm going to show you how it makes. Oops, sorry, forgot. So the big grid is a lotus leaf, and then in the middle center is the lotus flower. So we frozen it because this is my dad's hand. He brought it for me from Korea when he was flying 2 years ago. So he had to keep it in the refrigerator for a couple months. And then this one is you stem in the middle of the teapot. Then gradually you pour the green tea inside of the flowers. It blooms out again. So that's the last step will be this one. Well, history of green tea, it goes all the way to the 2,000 years ago. Of course, tea originated from China and in India. So a lot of monks, they went to China to study Buddhism. So I think as early as we can say 6th century and the 7th century, it's very arguable because there isn't any particular record that I can tell you that this was the exact date yet. So approximately we say 2,000 years. And then one of the tea tree, very famous, is in the northern part of Korea, North Korea. We have a Paektu mountain. They do have a few trees grows there still, they produce. And then ovens, they have a particular ovens in this period of about 600 years of stone ovens to make the tea, boil the tea water. So this is a stone mill found at the Sanam Temple. Is built with the bowls set in 4 tiers or steps. The first 4, the very top one, square shape, is specifically for making tea for Buddha. The second one is used to make rice for the temple monks. The third bowl of water is used to wash dishes, while the water from the last bowl is used to clean the temple. This shows the tremendous respect to Baekje people had for tea and even for water used to make tea. And this is inside of the temple. They had a separate ovens for the water, for the tea on the right side. That's for the just regular water to make the rice and the rest of the cooking. And this is another dynasty, we call it Silla dynasty. This is outdoor activity they're having now, but as you can see, they're grinding the teas here. Instead of using just the loose leaf, they have a loose leaf dried, and then they grind it and pour onto the tea pitchers to make a tea out of it. So it's a little bit different format of making green tea. And another stone well. This one. The right side is a well for putting the water, and the left side is an oven to make the tea water. And this is a porcelain pottery from the same dynasty. And in Korean culture, tea and religion, it cannot be separated because of the strong influence of Buddhism up until Joseon dynasty, which is the very last dynasty of Korean history. We were very flourished with the Buddhism, and a lot of monks, it was a part of their practice. So a lot of common people didn't have a really privilege to use the tea or even have a chance to drink the tea because it was very expensive, first of all. And so they had no way of access to having any tea leaves. So certain royal families or monks and a very hierarchy noblemen, they only have a tea access to it. So after the Goryeo dynasty, much later on, about 900, and it started to be really spread out to the common people. But sorry, unfortunately, at the very last dynasty, we embraced the Confucianism from the China, so that all this practice for the Buddhism, it has been really suppressed. So no longer of the tea ceremony was in the common people's house. You couldn't really see them. But after about in 1930s, around that time on, so we start to revive a lot of tea culture in Korea, came back. But there was a huge gap because of the religion issue. And this is from the Silla, and as you can see, Buddha is holding a cup of tea, so that was part of the ceremony, so it shows how important that was in a part of Korean history. And another part. This is from Goryeo Dynasty. I think in this museum I have some of the pottery, but particularly using the green colors. But these days a lot of people using the white porcelain tea set because you don't want to have a very against color to the tea that you're enjoying it. So tea is very light green color, so you don't want to have overpowered, very colorful tea set. So you want to match up with the natural color of the light green, so we tend to use more closer to the white porcelain tea set. And this is a tea house for the nobleman who has a big pond, and all the way to the right side, that's the place where they have a guest coming in enjoying the tea with over the conversation. Again, another pavilion for tea time. This is from the Silla dynasty. On your left hand, it's obviously the red, yellow color, the golden, and so rich that they made into the gold and the silver set. And this is a tea room in temple. This is a modern days. So as you can see, one of the monk who happened to be my dad's friend, he collects all different types of the tea sets. So it's a bit very collectible. It's very, each one has a different shape and different color. Much closer. This is a modern tea ceremony to celebrate the 4 seasons. That's why each one of the lady represents one of season. And in Korean custom, we do use 5 colors. Yellow being the center, white, black, red, and blue. And yellow is being centered. But this is representing 4 seasons, so color doesn't really coordinate it. But in a traditional setting, if you have 5 colors, the yellow will be in the center, whereas the white, black, red, and blue. And not only the tea has become a part of everyday life, but also it has become a performance type these days. So a lot of musicians, they play while you make the tea. So that's a kind of imitation of what I did on the stage in the beginning of my presentation. And this is a ceramic tea table set. So all these, right there, the tea bowl was heading to my left side. So this is on the table. It's all the direction, pointing direction is to the left, to here, and there is a small hole to let the steam go out. So there is also that needs to be pointing to your left. So everything needs to be lined up to your left side. And since it was for the 5 people, so I layered the first one to the left 3 people, and then second layer, 4th one, and the 5th one. If you only have a 3-1, you can do it that way, or you can have it this way, right in front of the very frontier line there. So just straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, you can do this. And the best 3 places that you can get tea from is a Jiri Mountain, Hosong, and Hwasong. So if someone gives you a gift, take a look at where it's coming from. And also the second important thing is that when it has been manufactured. When they manufacture it and then they're going to seal it. Okay, so we don't have, unlike the Chinese oolong tea, they air seal that. They really tighten the air, but Koreans, we don't do it, we just seal it. Okay, so once you open it, moisture, regardless how you're going to keep it, it will get to the back. So as soon as you open it, try to finish that one first. Try not to open this one. Maybe I'll try this one. And then I'll go back to the other one later on, but you usually forget to go back. So if you see the manufacturer date, please keep track on them. And especially if it was manufactured toward the end of the April, which is the best day. The first harvest starts from April 20th, and then it goes on terms about like 10 to 15 days. And then we have 4 periods starting from all the way to the end of the May. So if you receive the tea was around the end of the April, that was the best tea. So I urge you to start with that tea to hold up for the other ones. They can wait, but the best one that you shouldn't wait for that long. So this was what I was saying. The first one is called Ujan, and the second one is called Sejak, and the third one is Chungjak and Dejak. The latest that you tried was a Sejak, the second bloom, and in the morning that I served everyone was a Chungjak, the third one. So those two are very affordable, whereas Ujan could be quite pricey. And since you're attending this special tea ceremony, I strongly recommend you not to drink the tea bag tea. Please afford a little bit more money to buy the loose leaf tea. It tastes quite much different. But if you can, maybe that's fine. But when these days, instead of a paper bag, they have a sachet, right? The plastic looking that it filters much better. So and also air goes through, so that's much better than just the paper bags. So in the morning, we talked about how to process your tea. So this is roasting, they're drying tea. So we use the big oven by hands. You do this, rotating it while you're roasting it. Going through, and then this is the huge oven that's used in the tea manufacture. And this is another famous tea museum in Hatong, Korea. So why do we drink green tea? Of course, it helps you to smooth down. Oh, okay, sorry, I need to wash it. Sorry. So this is the set for the one. Strain is already built in, so you can lift up that strain and take it out and then drink it. Okay, and this is 2, 3. So vertically you line it up, and 5 you make 2 lines vertically. So I'll just show you the photos. Of course, you can have it with a dessert, but dessert shouldn't be chocolate because it overpowers your tea, unlike the black tea. When you're drinking green tea, very mild dessert that won't really affect of a taste or the aroma of green tea will be best.